While Sean's View Entertainment will bring to you the weekly SmackDown vs. Raw ratings war viewership, huge updates and developments on the Raw rating from yesterday. Now, you might have learned about Raw's rating yesterday being, once again, one of the lowest, third lowest numbers of the year. Well, here is a huge update that subscribe, smash that bell next to the subscribe button, and of course, refresh my YouTube page multiple times a day throughout the day. Donate to my Patreon, where I always keep it prolific, consistent, and dedicated on the brash. What's that? I said the brash. Sean's Entertainment. Now, this week's number on Raw is down from last week's show and is a new low for 2017. A new number has come in, ladies and gentlemen. New details have been exposed. This week's show had advertised main events of Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt versus Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor in a triple threat match. The final rating for WWE Raw this week was actually a 1.75, which we all thought was a 2.61. Now a 1.75, which is a new ratings low for 2017 and is the second lowest, not the third, the second lowest rating WWE Raw has ever drawn. The only episode of WWE Raw which drew lower than last week's show aired on the night of the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. The show finished with a 1.74 cable rating. This week's Raw was up against a Memorial Day holiday as well as the Stanley Cup Finals, which drew a solid number. In an interesting piece of WWE Raw trivia, this week's show drew a lower rating than any episode of WCW Monday Night Nitro in the history of that show except for one broadcast. Once again, you can blame Memorial Day, you can blame football, hockey, NHA, NRA, NASCAR. You can blame any show. If the writing is good, if it is quality, if it is solid, if it is up to standard, if it isn't mediocre, if it isn't played out, if it isn't the same song and dance, if it isn't the same the rematch, if it isn't the same rehash, you will get solid numbers. Vince Russo is a huge indicator behind that. Monday Night Raw can ill afford to see numbers this low. I'm telling you guys, this is going to get bad because I'm a WWE fan. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this degenerate and degrade and flow this low. I don't want to see this. But a 1.75 before a pay-per-view, before Extreme Rules, with a stacked roster, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, no injuries, Monday Night Raw is flying high. But yet, they're flying low with numbers like this because the storytelling, the legitimacy, the credibility, it's not there. They're not putting asses to TVs, to iPads, to iPhones, to laptops, to desktops, whatever it may be. They're putting asses in seats, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the USA Network's going to step in. The USA Network is going to step in on this low rate. They have to. I mean, I don't care about contracts, whatever disputes, whatever wrongdoings, whatever negatives, whatever positives, whatever the motives, whatever the money, whatever the monetary gain is here. What is USA gaining? What are they getting? Except Monday Night Raw is just, I don't know. I'm speechless at this point. I'm taken back. I don't know what to think. I don't know how to feel. But a 1.75 for Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. A show that used to do 7s and 8s in the Attitude Era with Vince Russo is now regulated and is used to and is accustomed and does not mind a 1.75. You should thrive to have a show better than the show you put on the week before. Not the same show over and over and over again. At this point, Raw back in 93 and 94 with Doink the Clown and Abe Knuckleball Schwartz and Crush and those cartoon-like characters are better than what we're getting right now. And those are some rough, tough times. Those are some pretty tough patches to get through. But this is a whole new level. When WCW Monday Nitro didn't see ratings this low when it was dying, if that's not an indication that Raw needs to, well, implode before it gets better, before they see that huge hit that they get hit with right now, smash that bell, subscribe, donate to my Patreon. Stay tuned, refresh my YouTube channel throughout the day, every single day, multiple times a day. Subscribe. This is actually sick now. This is degrading. This is really a new low for Raw's new Raw low ratings. Subscribe.